This is The Gorge, the podcast where my friends and I get together and gorge ourselves on the year 2024.
That's right. The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month, you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where we don't feel like playing something, so we watch it and talk over it instead. And $2 is the Grab Bag tier. It's everything else. Anything else that's bonus content goes in the $2. What did we even do for the $2 thing? Oh, it was Buckshot Roulette where we got super drunk.
Yeah, right. And then
if you love us, support us by giving us money for drunk Buckshot Roulette, because I need to stress to you, I have literally never in my life been more drunk than that recording. It is the only time I have gotten so blackout drunk that I spent the entire night vomiting in my bed.
That's right.
And it was worth it.
For content, because it was really fun.
Asterisk.
I did Buckshot's Roulette, and then the next day had to go to a big family gathering.
I would have, if I had to go do something that day, I would have sooner ended it all. I could not. I was upset at being alive the day after that.
My dad has gotten his Christmas gift to himself was called a Bartizan. And what it is a cocktail Keurig.
This is the most Midwestern dad thing you put the pod in the thing, and then it scans the barcode and like fills it up with whatever kind of alcohol. So like it make like an old fashioned or Manhattan or whatever. And my dad's like, Ben, do you want one of these? And I'm like, no.
It's very peak with Midwestern to mix the like consumerist wastefulness of the K-cup with disordered drinking. I deeply respect it.
Yeah, no, it's very Minnesota. I know you're in Michigan, but it's very Minnesota.
The thing is, I mean, I went back when I was like, I've been there since, and they're pretty good. Like they're pretty good cocktails. Like it makes pretty good, old fashions and stuff.
No, I'm sure they're good. We're getting off topic.
They are.
The point is patreon.com/thegorge. All of that and more is available to you. Thank you.
So this week, the first week of the year that we're recording, we are doing our annual Gorgies Award ceremony.
That's right.
Gorgies Awardgies.
The Awardgies. The worst named.
The most unfortunate named
award ceremony on the internet. However, just as prestigious. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to our award show. It's called the Big Stink Dimension.
I'm already out. I'm done.
Get back here.
That's nominated as the most painful moment of 2024.
There you go.
So we've got a number of categories here, and like usual, we're gonna do something a little different that we didn't do last year. Which is a lot of these candidates have more than 4 nominations.
Right.
So I think what we should do is we should go down the list and we should eliminate anything that has more than 4. We should cut that down to 4 and then actually cast our votes.
Yeah, there are actually only 2 categories that have 4 or less in here. Every single one of these other ones has at least 5.
I feel like for the sake of actually determining a winner, because there's 4 of us, we should cut it down to 3.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah,
I agree.
Because that way, we can't split the vote, right? Like,
yeah,
you have to trim it down.
We can't split the vote like we did, colluding to ensure that it happened last time.
And in that way, we have to do this to every category because every category has more than 3. I'm going to propose also, though, that this year, for our champion categories, the people who didn't pick the category have to narrow it down to the top 3. Okay. And then the person who's championing it gets to pick which one is the winner.
I like that idea. I like that idea. That's very fun. That's interactive.
That's right. Everybody gets to play along. Cool.
Yeah.
Play along at home.
By which I mean yell at your podcatcher.
Yeah.
And be mad at us when we pick things that don't agree with your opinions.
Yeah, remember.
And join our Discord and tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, remember, the Discord is there for you to tell us that we're fools for not picking what you wanted to win.
And then we'll all point and laugh at you.
Yeah.
And give you a demeaning roll on the Discord.
So let's get to the first category.
Ben,
starting
off,
I'll do first one.
Okay.
I'll go first. We're starting off positively with the most painful moment of 2024. By the way, just as a precursor, active spoilers for any category we discuss in this going forward.
Yeah, no.
That makes sense.
Most painful moments. The nominees are Ichiban and Saiko's first date from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Roche dies in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Thaddeus's foot from the Fallout TV show. The ghost dog from Animal Well. Shutting down Living Memory from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Shutting down Concord after 2 weeks of launch. And Don to Don Episode 7.
Oh, no. Oh, that's hard.
So we've got to cut down
Also,
1, 2,
I like
3,
the
4,
spread
5, 6,
because,
7.
I like this because it's like, okay, so painful. You mean emotionally? Well, no, we also mean just physically.
Yeah, just painful. just things that sucked.
So I'm going to suggest an early cut. We remove Concord from this category.
Yeah.
I felt no pain watching that one.
I only felt the euphoric joy of like a screeching gibbon skeleton being asked to get something off of a tall shelf.
Saturn, I'm glad that you and I 100% agree on that one.
Totally all on the same page here. That was not painful. That was funny. It deserves its own category, which is funniest failure.
The FF reward for Final Fantasy.
That's right.
Funniest failure 14.
Okay, I agree that we can cut that one.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gray it out so it's a little more.
Okay, that works.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. So then we still have to trim.
We have to cut down 4 or 3 more.
Okay.
I think we can I know this sucks to hear, but I think we can safely cut out Roche dies. In part because you kind of saw it coming, so that prepared you for it.
He didn't really die either, though. Like
there's also that too.
He became a Sephiroth.
Yeah, but they're gonna fix that. They're gonna unsephiroth that.
Like
man.
it's sad and it sucks, but it's
Sure.
also like a plot point that made us go like, "Oh,"
They
and
have
then moved on.
Yeah.
They have to recover him because they're going to shoot him out into a portal, and he's going to become the protagonist of Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I see.
He's just gonna replace Clive.
Okay,
They're gonna
I'm
put him
okay
in a
with
portal
cutting
like
that
The
one.
Witcher. Okay.
They should make Roche. They should make Roche the new cameo guest fighter.
God,
in things.
wouldn't that be
They still
great?
have Ben, because I think you're the only one who played it. Can you explain Ghost Dog to me?
Okay, so Ghost Dog, one of the segments of Animal Well, which, in case you forgot, is a puzzle-based Metroidvania that came out earlier this year. Ghost Dog's gimmick is, you remember Fantoon from Mario Brothers 2? How he would chase you around when you picked up the key?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you pick up a disc at one point, and a gigantic ghost dog starts chasing you around. You have to transport this disc from its starting location to the end of the section of the map, kind of like, transporting it to, like Brinstar Depths equivalent of Super Metroid,
Yeah.
like a good section of the Metroidvania puzzle area. There are no checkpoints. You have no way of discarding the disc to get it to leave you alone, like you can with the key with Phantom. You can throw it and it'll leave you alone. You can recover and pick it back up and then, restart. It's just always chasing you. You have to navigate through this gigantic maze, clearing out whatever puzzles or whatnot are in each room that you travel to.
Right.
Like, if you have to distract enemies, you have to trigger switches, etc. There are no checkpoints. If the ghost dog catches you, you have to do it over.
And how long is this
How long
sequence?
does it take?
Probably about 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So
I understand. I think that one's safe.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah. I'm willing to cut Thaddeus's foot.
Heh.
Ironically, his isn't the foot that got cut.
I know.
I feel like I've had to avert my eyes from worse TV/movie gore this year.
Yeah, the one I have to avert my. If this was Dane at the beginning of the show, when they like put their foot in their boot.
Oh yeah, the
pull it
razors.
out,
Yeah,
the razors. That I probably would have been like, no, that's the winner. But we've nominated this one instead, so we can cut this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hope we see someone get melted by plasma in the second season.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Please.
There's already so much because we've been rewatching Fallout just because it's like a breather thing between ending DS9 and starting Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
And I am certainly less desensitized to gore these days because I watch that show. I spend half of it with like my face behind my hands, watching through my fingers. I'm just like, oh god, no.
Ugh.
Oh no, it's horrible. It's very visceral. But there's worse things in Fallout. There's worse things in Fallout than that. Yeah,
in general.
And I hate to be mean to Ichiban. But much like what happened to Concord, I thought that was the funniest thing possible.
I actually am also, because looking at the 4, because this is now just a matter of narrowing it down. We've got 4. We need to pick 3. Ghost Dog sounds miserable, so I'm willing to let it stand in the top 3. The other 2 wreaked havoc on my soul.
Yeah.
So I can't possibly cut them. So unfortunately, we have to cut Ichiban and Sayako's first date.
The problem is that Ichiban and Psycho is painful, but there's schadenfreude in it, so
It's kind of funny. It was kind
it's
of
funny.
He literally told her, trying to encourage her to date him, that they could go and visit the grave of his old Yakuza boss as a family.
That's right. That's right.
I know.
It's funny.
It took until the end of the game for Kiryu to go, hey, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, listen, dude, it's up to you because this is a thing you nominated, another thing you nominated. So you either got to cut out Ghost Dog or you got to cut out Ichiban and Sayako.
Oh god, that's like asking which clone to shoot.
Now here's I'll offer 2 perspectives here. One, I agree that Ichiban and Sayako's first date was painful. I couldn't keep my headphones on. On the other hand, having Ghost Dog gives us a wider variety of types of pain to
That's
be
right.
in our top 3.
So you're the
fair
tiebreaker
point.
here, Ben.
I think I have to go with Ichiban and Sayako's first date to keep that one because it permeates for the rest of the game, whereas Ghost Dog was done.
Okay.
I finished Ghost Dog and then never had to think about Ghost Dog again.
But they keep reminding you of Ichiban and Sayako's first date. Okay.
Yes.
Understandable.
All right,
Okay.
and that brings us to our top 3, Ben.
Oh.
Now, okay, so I'll make the first vote, and despite me going to bat for Ichiban and Sayako's first date, I'm putting my vote to Dandadan episode 7.
Was that the backstory mom
Yes.
episode?
Yes, that is the backstory episode.
Just reminding myself, 'cause I don't remember the episode numbers that well.
That is the flashback episode regarding the Ghost Mom's backstory, which has been hey, wacky sci-fi aliens, they stole his balls, haha, it's funny. Oh.
We have to watch that last episode.
We still
sometime.
haven't watched that last episode.
Yeah.
We also still have to get back to Ghost in the Shell. Well, we've been slacking on our group watches.
I know. After this, we'll get back to it.
Life happens, sorry.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It was the
all grown-ups.
holidays, but I'm just like, damn, we can get back to it.
I know. I don't know, because it's between the 2 at the bottom. It's either Living Memory or it's episode 7 of Dawn to Dawn.
I guess here's the reason why I will argue for Living Memory. Episode 7 broke all of us, and we were all like in tears by like minute 15, right? And then as the episode went through, we all just kind of went, wow, it's kind of funny how bad that whiplash was, and we all kind of laughed over it and went, oh, it was still sad, but we kind of got over it. Living Memory was a 2-day long ordeal.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me about 2 weeks to recover from that one.
Yeah, and I cried through the entirety of Living Memory. I mean, I cried the entire time through Living. I can't even think of certain parts in Living Memory without going, it's bad.
I would say probably, and here's the thing, I like Dawn to Dawn episode 7 hits hard, but like I've been binging a lot of anime this year, and like I've had other experiences where I'm like, I've been gut punched emotionally by this anime that I've watched. Living Memory, for all my other problems with Dawntrail that I don't want to try to talk too much about, the thing about Living Memory that works for me though is it's the one time in FF14 where they go, no, you are the one who has to press the button.
Right.
Like, it's not like this is just a tragic thing that happened that you were around for. You have to end them.
You have to shoot the boss.
And also, like, the game outright telling you, like, hey, so the map's going to change irreversibly once you do this.
And all the music goes away and all the everything. And it's just like, and the thing is, it works so well for me that I feel like that has to get my vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Living Memory too, just because like I cried through the entire thing for 2 solid days. I still like get weepy when I think about certain parts. It's brutal. And yeah, no, it happened at like a weird time in my life. So yeah, I can't even talk about it. It's Living Memory.
I think that's the vote then.
That's the winner.
The most painful moment of 2024, shutting down Living Memory. Second place, Dawn to Dawn episode 7. Third place, Ichiban and Psycho's first date.
That makes sense.
What a spread of pain.
Of agony.
I should do like second place.
I like Saturn's
dedication
to
we are documenting this for the future in case we ever want to look back at what we did.
Right.
Who wants to take the next category?
I'll take this one.
Someone else do it. I'm making a custom color.
So we are in a post Dragon Ball Z abridged world.
Yes.
But even still, with that and the passing of Akira Toriyama, we are aflush with Gokus. And
we are.
This year, we get to nominate who is the best Goku. Starting with Goku Mid from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Child Goku, but good from Dragon Ball Daima. Son Wukong from Black Myth Wukong. All caps, Goku Blanco, which is some dude's player character in Xenoverse 2. And of course, lest we forget, Wook Lamont from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail.
That last one was my addition because I saw the first 4 in here and felt something was missing.
No, it's a good addition.
It's a good pick.
Now, unfortunately, I will probably say that we should disqualify her because she is a Luffy and not a Goku. However, that is simply my opinion.
Okay,
I think that Luffy's are also Gokus.
Luffy's are tangentially Gokus.
Okay, I'm gonna make one pitch. I'm gonna make a pitch first off, right off the bat, which is to disqualify Sun Wukong. Because
I don't want that studio getting. I don't want that studio getting anything.
Also,
I see.
Also, the Sun Wukong that you play as in Black Myth Wukong is a very dour individual.
Also, that's right. He's not actually even Sun Wukong.
Yeah, he's like a reincarnation or a copy of Sun Wukong.
I'm deleting this pitch. Get out of here.
No, be gone. You're not a Goku. Be gone. We banish you.
I'm sad that Ben is still of the four of us is the only one who hasn't seen any Daima. So
I've seen a bit of Daima. I have watched a little bit of it.
Okay.
I have not. I watched I watched like clips of it, but I'm waiting for the dub to actually come out. But I know the gist of.
That is right around the corner. I think it comes out on the 12th.
Yeah, it's soon.
Out of curiosity for me, did you happen to screenshot Goku Blanco?
No, but I need to stress, Saturn, if you play Xenoverse enough times, you will instantly recognize when you come across a Goku Blanco because he is deliberately made to look like adult Gohan.
I see.
But his name is Goku Blanco.
I see. That right.
This is a recurring theme because you will find occasionally multiple Goku Blancos that you have to fight, and you go, "Oh, so it is a meme character that everyone is playing as."
I see.
I am tempted to cut Wook Lamont just because she's the only one on the list not named Goku.
I would argue. I think we should disqualify Goku mid because he's just Goku.
He's definitionally mid. You can't possibly say he's the best Goku when he is mid.
Now that is true, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I'm telling you.
But having played a lot more Sparking Zero, Goku mid has one of the coolest looking finishers, which is the one-handed angry Kamehameha. It looks so fucking cool.
But
Can we agree then, if we're not going to cut Goku mid, I can't conscionably cut Wook Lamont. Can we cut Goku Blanco because we don't even have a screenshot of it?
We don't.
I'm okay with cutting Goku Blanco. That is an imposter Goku. That is the false Goku.
This is
Goku. He will lead your flock astray.
The Android App Store Belatro knockoff Goku.
This is Dragon Fighting Man.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our top 3.
So, unfortunately, I still agree with Saturn. I don't think Goku Sparking Zero should be on there because it's just a normal Goku.
Well, now at least we're at the point where we just have to vote for our favorite.
Yes,
that's right.
Because
I'm just going through my thought process.
No, I understand.
I will pick. I know my vote already.
Okay.
I am voting for Child Goku, but good, based entirely off of the clip that I did see, where the female companion of the thing proposes to Goku, and he side eyes her and says, "I'm married and have 2 kids."
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's
pretty good.
It's a great moment. I love that part. There is another part. The reason I'm also throwing my hand in for Child Goku, but good, is there is a part where he meets a robot, and the very first thing that he does is fight it. And afterwards, he politely bows to said robot and says, "Hey, you want to learn how to do the Kamehameha? I think it'd be really funny." Which I think the truly the best Goku is the Goku who spreads the Goku around.
Teaches other people how to Goku.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Wook Lamont because I have to support lesbian Gokus.
That's
understandable.
True. Damn. Okay.
How do you know Child Goku is but good is also because Child Goku but good is also married with kids.
I am the tiebreaker.
Or really realistically, the tie maker.
Yeah.
I am the tie maker. Unfortunately, I cannot in good conscience vote for Wook Lamont, only because I like Wook Lamont enough to not want her to be a Goku.
That's fine.
I like Wook Lamont much, much more than any Goku, possibly ever, because she can be reasoned with. So I guess Child Goku, because no, my sweet darling girl is not a Goku. She's a Luffy.
She is more Luffy core for sure, but that does mean that she gets second place over the most regular Goku.
That's right.
Correct. That's correct.
That's the correct
ranking. Yeah.
Our winner is for best Goku is Child Goku but Good from Dragon Ball Daima. Second place Wook Lamont, and third place Goku Mid.
That's correct.
I feel I have honored Wook Lamont's contribution to the Shonen Action Hero cause.
I appreciate that. I'm saluting you and her.
We don't have a category for best Luffy, but maybe next year.
maybe we'll get some more.
Well, hey, next season.
That's true.
True.
That's so true. I guess I'll take the next one.
Okay.
Oh god, we have a lot of these. We should probably be going a little faster, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Well, if we have to two-part it, it's fine.
That's true. Then we'll go full gigaboots.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like having more open discussion about these nominees. So yeah, if it ends up splitting to two parts, I'm fine with that.
That's true. That's a good point. So the next category is best rival. Because there's a lot of them. Ironically, a lot of them are from Final Fantasy VII, but don't worry about it. And the funniest thing, never mind. The nominees are Yutaka Yamai from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Regina from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Roche. Wait a second, why are there so many R names on here? Roche from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Rockhawk from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and Bakul Jaja, our goodest boy, from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Very funny to have Final Fantasy VII on here twice, and for neither of them to be a Sephiroth.
Because Sephiroth is a nemesis. That's different from a rival, you know?
That's different.
There is a different psychosexual connection to them having like a little rocket attached to their neck, you know?
Right, yeah. Rivalry implies something more friendly.
It's almost but not quite platonic, you know?
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's fair. I retract it. Thank you.
So I don't think anyone. We didn't get to Hawaii in our preview of Infinite Wealth. So I don't think any of you know much about Yutaka Yamai.
No.
So let me tell you about Ichiban's Majima.
Okay.
Fear.
So much like how Majima is the hyperactive, crazy, happy-go-lucky rival to Kiryu's very stoic, solid nature, Yutaka Yamai is the dark, brooding counterpart to Ichiban's happy-go-lucky, wacky funtime adventures.
Oh, so he's the Virgil.
Yeah. His gimmick is that he wields a crowbar, and he lives in Hawaii, but he wears a turtleneck sweater under a suit coat with the big heavy leather trench coat hanging off his shoulders. And he always complains about how cold he is.
I see.
Even to a point where they're trapped in a forest fire and he regrets not being able to feel the heat. He is a guy...
He's super Virgil.
Yeah, he is a guy that shows up and just fucking hates Ichiban for messing with his plans a little bit. And then just escalates it to the point where they just fucking hate each other.
I see.
Until the point where they kind of become friends, because it's still Ichiban.
That's right.
I'm looking at a picture of him in the group chat. I deeply respect this kind of in an alternate universe where he was supposed to be a white guy, would be played by Steve Buscemi kind of vibe he has going on.
Yeah.
This guy's whole fucking fit is insane.
This is a very specifically a Yakuza 4 character.
Mm-hmm. He has the deep guttural voice.
Sure.
He is unlike unlike of Ichiban's other allies, has no tolerance for his trusting nature and his weird JRPG protagonist energy. Fantastic character. He has a very deep, intricate story that I just don't have time to go into right now.
Sure.
But he's incredible. He is one of the highlights of the entire game.
Okay. Then we still need to decide on who to cut.
We need to cut 3.
We need to cut No, we just need to cut 2. There's only 5 here.
Right? You're right.
I'm going to suggest cutting Rockhawk, not because I don't like Rockhawk, but because he just eats it real bad. Like he jobs super hard. It's not even funny. It's not. It's probably not worth even calling him a rival. Really.
The thing is that like unlike Junior Troopa, who has a lot of like staying power, Rockhawk doesn't even make it to the point where he makes it a return appearance because Bowser knocks him out of the way on accident.
That's true. No. But yeah, Saturn, you are correct in that Rockhawk is quite literally a jobber.
Yes.
In the pro wrestling definition of guy who is hyped up and gets defeated so that the real threat can show off.
Mm-hmm.
He is Worf.
A rival can job, but they can never be a jobber.
This is
right?
correct.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's a very important distinction there. So I think we do have to cut Rockhawk.
I am okay with that.
Like, Vegeta jobs all the time, but I would not describe him as a jobber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
His key nature is a hater.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
He's a hater first and a jobber second.
Right.
That's what makes him a rival.
That's what makes him a rival. Exactly.
I would also be willing to cut Regina because she did not show up as often as I expected she would.
She's only your rival in Queen's Blood. And mind you, Queen's Blood kicks ass. But you don't fight her enough.
Yeah.
In Queen's Blood for her to be a true Queen's... You only fight her twice.
She is also our rival in Queen's Blood, but we also whoop her ass every single time super hard.
We dog-walked her insanely hard every time, yeah.
We literally lost to a literal dog worse than we ever lost to Regina.
It's true.
Yeah. We quite literally got beat at chess by a dog.
Yeah.
So, no, It can't be Regina. Also, you have to fight your rival 3 times, and unfortunately, we only fought Regina twice. So
that's true. That is true. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for voting.
3.
We've got 3. So, how do we decide? Well, how do I decide between Roche and Bakul Jaja, my 2 most sweet, precious baby boys?
I feel like the reason I lean towards Roche is because I do love Bakul Jaja with all of my heart.
That's great.
Because he's a Groose, which means he is a rival in name only.
And truly...
And I guess my other argument is also he's not the rival for the player character.
Mm-hmm.
He's it for Wuklamot, so there's a lot less animosity. He's just, even when he is goofing off and doing stuff, I'm just like, I love this guy. He's such an asshole.
That's true.
I also feel like, and again, I also love Bakul Jaja.
Correct.
But I think an important part of a good rival is that they can't ever be rehabilitated to the good guy side. They have to always have an antagonistic relationship with you.
I mean, the Vegeta's right there.
Yeah.
Well, Vegeta's not on this fucking list now, is he?
Yeah, but he is the rival.
No,
like we could have put him in here. He's in Sparking Zero, but we didn't.
I do understand, though, that I don't think Bakul Jaja counts.
He's only really a rival for the first, 5 levels of Dawntrail.
Mostly he's a cool guy. You only ever fight him the once, and you do dog walk him.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you don't even dog walk him. Your protege does, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So,
your understudy dog walks him, and then he's tamed forever.
Yeah, and then the protagonist of Dawntrail big dicks him in a cutscene where you just literally walk across the room and everybody shits their pants. I don't think a rival should shit their pants if you just walk across the room, right?
No, that's jobber behavior.
That's jobber behavior. Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, we cannot give it to Bakul Jaja. I did not play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, so I do not, in good conscience, feel like I can vote for Yutaka Yamai. So I have to give it to Roche, who kicks ass.
Before you lock in your vote, Sarah, I forgot one very important thing about Yutaka Yamai.
Oh, what?
He likes older women.
Oh, motherfucker!
He owns a nightclub, like a relatively, like a minorly successful nightclub, and whenever you walk into the nightclub, he's got two like 40 to 50-year-old women on either arm.
Damn it!
Ben literally like just go like, oh, by the way, I have a trap card.
Just coming in with the fucking clothesline at the end.
Unfortunately, I do have to stand a king. I'm voting for you, Ducky.
Yeah, sadly, I do.
I have to now.
You're my sweep.
That sounds like a unanimous vote for you, Ducky.
Yeah.
All right.
I am okay with giving Roche second place, though.
Yeah,
I think Roche second place on the grounds that we did basically disqualify Bakul Jaja.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm sorry, Bakul Jaja.
However, Bakul Jaja still takes a respectable bronze.
I think
about consistent.
Yeah.
Like I said, he is a rival in name only, but he still deserves the nomination.
I'm sorry, but if I remembered that, and if I had just let it go, I would have regretted it for the rest of my days.
At the very least, the next category we can be one and done with because there is an objectively correct winner.
That's correct.
So our next category is least $70 game for games that cost $70 but shouldn't. Our nominees are Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, Skull and Bones, Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch, Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2, and Stellar Blade. And I am pleased to announce that the unambiguous winner of this category is Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch.
Yeah.
We still have to talk about it, but...
Okay.
The more important thing to know about it, aside from it's Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch, is that as a result, it is a hideously ugly game that runs like shit and takes like 2 minutes to load every single fight, and everybody looks like they're made of melting plastic. And they went, you know what? We'll be the only game on the Switch besides Tears of the fucking Kingdom to charge you $70 goddamn dollars.
That's incredible. Because if there was any video game that you could describe as the most $70 video game, it is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Right?
Correct. It's
the only games to have ever come out that cost $70, and you go, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
That's a $70 video game. Yeah, absolutely. And then the least $70 video game is fucking also on the Switch, and it's Mortal Kombat. That being said, I do want to pitch to disqualify Senua's Saga, because that is a very $70 video game, except the fact that it's just not very good. Right?
I agree to that.
I'm inclined to agree.
And I would also... Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
It's very money. It has great sound design. It is a very beautiful, technically competent video game. It's a $70 video game. You just shouldn't spend $70 on it.
I would similarly vote to disqualify Stellar Blade because it's done.
It is done.
It's a complete video game you can play as opposed to the other two that are left.
And also, by all accounts, it's all right.
It's fine.
Is it worth $70? Probably not, but it's not the least $70 game.
It's a 7 out of 10. Okay, sure, why not? Fine. I would not pay $70 for Stellar Blade, but you look at it and you go, oh, okay, sure, that's fine. Right. It's not offensive, right? So
I guess the only question is between Suicide Squad and Skull and Bones, which is taking silver.
I'm going to cast my vote for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League because it essentially killed Rocksteady.
I am also voting for Suicide Squad because under no circumstances do I want Skull and Bones to ever get second place in anything, even in being the shittiest thing possible.
That's fair. Go ahead.
No, you continue.
I am also going to say Suicide Squad, mostly because I didn't even realize Skull and Bones came out when it came out. I'll be real with you. 2 months after it came out, I'm like, is that game even out yet? And you guys were like, Sarah, it's been out since February. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not a real game.
I hope it kills Ubisoft.
Suicide Squad takes silver and Skull and Bones takes bronze. Let it be known I'm casting my protest vote for Skull and Bones because that is a video game that I'm not convinced it really exists. I think everyone who says they've been playing it has been lying.
It's been lying.
It's just an empty executable.
It really does boil down to your vote being whether or not something that is offensively bad, like Suicide Squad, or invisibly bad, like Skull and Bones, is worse.
That's actually a really good distinction, yeah. And I think in that case, I still think it should be Suicide Squad because it is like offensively bad. I don't think that like the things that people got super up in arms about, like Kevin Conroy's final performance and all that stuff, I don't think that is as big of a deal as some people made it out to be. But I still just think like, honestly, just watching people play that game, it's offensively bad just from a game design standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just so much wrong with it. Like as a functioning video game, like it's playable and it works. Like it's not super buggy and it's not super hideous like Mortal Kombat 1, but it's just its bones are bad, right?
Yeah, it's Skull and Bones is what I would have expected Ubisoft to make.
Sure, yeah.
Suicide Squad is so far from the quality that the previous Arkham games have had that the disparity is so much stronger.
That makes sense. Plus, if Skull and Bones kills Ubisoft, that'll be awesome. It'll be the best thing. It'll be the best thing Skull and Bones ever did. But Suicide Squad kill the Justice League killing Rocksteady would actually be quite bad. So
yeah.
I think that's a pretty good distinction. Okay.
Our next category is Best Game Within a Game. The nominees are Queen's Blood from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dondoko Island from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Sujimon Battles from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth,
the video game that has so much shit in it,
Grimstone from UFO 50, and Whatever from Cryptmaster. We have to cut 2 of these.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
I have 2 cuts to nominate. I'm going to suggest Sujimon Battles because there's 2 Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth things in here, and I think Sujimon Battles were in the last one.
Correct.
And I'm going to sadly nominate Grimstone because none of us actually fucking played it.
Yeah. Also,
I only got 20 minutes in and was
I respect Grimstone so bad, but I can't in good conscience, like literally none of us actually played a significant amount.
Also, I have to cut Grimstone because it is not a game within a game. It is just a game in a game's anthology. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's also true. These both should be disqualified on technicality.
Yeah, I'm good with cutting Sujimon Battles and Grimstone as well.
That's fair.
Which brings us very quickly to our top 3.
Yeah,
They're all really hard.
Oh my god.
By process of elimination, I think my vote's just gonna straight up go to Whatever, because while Queen's Blood was fun, and I do like the concept of Dondoko Island, Whatever is a one-player party game. I loved the hell out of the streams that we did of it.
Funnily, as the person who actually did the playing of Cryptmaster, I'm going to vote for Queen's Blood. Because don't get me wrong, Whatever's very good. I have never known the epic highs and lows of high school football until I participated in all of those insane Queen's Blood games. It is a fantastic blood sport of a card battler.
This is tough because on the one hand, I agree with Saturn is that Queen's Blood. Okay, so for one thing, Whatever was not my favorite part of Cryptmaster.
Right.
Like, I liked the actual other puzzles going on in Cryptmaster more than I liked Whatever.
Sure, that's fair.
And Queen's Blood, had the highest spikes of dopamine when we would just lock our opponent down and just prevent them from doing anything. However, there were days when I would play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and I would check on my Sujimon, my Dondoko Island, and then the sun would set.
That's just the magic of an Animal Crossing.
That's true.
That leaves Sara as the tiebreaker once again.
It's so good. Dondoko Island is so good.
It doesn't have shack building now.
It does.
Does it?
It does?
Like
it has a very minor form of shack building in which you can decorate the interior of your house.
Okay.
Acceptable. And you can get more rooms like an Animal Crossing house.
Okay. Acceptable. I actually am gonna give it to Queen's Blood, and I'll tell you why. Because it's way more elaborate than it has any right to be.
It's true.
Right? Like, Queen's Blood is a game that if Square Enix was like, we're making a phone game gacha version of Queen's Blood, I would play it. I would play a lot of it.
Yeah. If they put Queen's Blood in Ever Crisis, I would download Ever Crisis.
Because it's so elaborate and just like it. I mean, there were so many ways where we were just like, oh, we see the gimmick. This, like, we're totally playing the match all wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Where we realized, like, the gimmick of the opponent's cards were so completely different from anything that we had seen, like, the entire game, that we realized we had to, like, completely switch up the strategy, right?
Yeah, the moment where the game gets too hard to brute force.
Exactly. It's elaborate. It's got money. It just looks great. Yeah, it's got to be Queen's Blood. I'm sorry. And plus, the stream where we played Queen's Blood was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
It was.
That's fair.
That I think with 2 votes that puts Queen's Blood in first.
Yes.
Yes.
Now the question is, Dondoko Island and whatever both got 1 vote each. So who's going to take second in that battle?
I think of the 2, Dondoko might get that one just because it is an actual, like, extremely fleshed out game within a game, because it is literally just a full Animal Crossing inside of an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like and respect both. I would be willing to give it to Dondoko just off a scale alone.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can and probably should sink like 30 hours of your total game time of Infinite Wealth into Dondoko Island.
Okay.
Like you just sink time into it.
Well, that means that the silver medal goes to Dondoko Island and the respectable bronze to whatever.
That's right.
I have
bronze medalists are happier than silver medalists anyways.
Yeah. I believe it.
I have one last thing to say about Queen's Blood, which is if nobody got me, I know security officer got me.
Security officer.
Security officer isn't gonna fuck you. No!
He would.
Just doing the solid or the naked snake salute at the end of fucking MGS3 for security. Just a single tear rolling down my cheek. Just like, God damn, he was a true American.
Well, speaking of who would and would not fuck you, we have a new category for the biggest cuck of 2024.
There's a last-minute addition to this one. I did literally like half an hour before.
Oh.
So the awards for this one go. Well, the nominations go to Vincent Valentine, as always, Ever Eternal from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Anita from Silent Hill: The Short Message, Sonhee from Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Moog from Elden Ring: The Shadow of Erdtree, and Principal from 1,000 Times Resist.
Now, Saturn, tell us about Moog.
Yes. So the thing that you have to know about Moog is, in the original Elden Ring, in vanilla Elden Ring, you encounter him as, like, an optional boss, actually, in, like, an area where there's an entire lore plot about how he kidnapped the sort of stillborn like body of Mikola, who's this twink, basically, this like god twink,
right?
You know, and he's like all this hooting and hollering about how he's going to make this new dynasty and whatever, and you have to kill him because he's a competitor for the right to be god, basically. Now, this is going to be huge spoilers for Shadow of the Erdtree, so if you haven't played that yet, skip ahead a couple minutes.
Damn it, I don't have that button.
I'm sorry. A significant part of... So Erdtree is... the Shadow of the Erdtree is a DLC that focuses on Miquella, because, like, they're a character who, it's like, they weren't in the vanilla game, really, but, like, the game is, like, they were everywhere. They were kind of like a blank space a little bit, like a question mark. As you go through the Shadow of the Erdtree, you discover that Moog was not actually that crazy about Miquella. Miquella has insane brainwashing powers. And the thing is, Miquella didn't actually want Moog to be to be his god husband or whatever. He wanted someone to kill Moog so he could use Moog's body to reincarnate his true love, who is his older brother.
True. I see. God pantheon shit.
And this is why when that came out, there were all those memes about Moog beating the allegations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, great.
That is strong.
That's pretty potent. I already know I want to cut Anita just because nothing in Silent Hill, the short message, evoked that much of a response in me. You know,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I have no opinions about that game, so I'm alright with that.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I think Principal being on here is very funny. We have to keep that one.
Just like spiritually.
In essence, yeah.
She's a subtext cuck.
That's right. She got like emotionally cucked.
Yeah.
Right?
The cuck text.
That's right.
She didn't even get to do the stabbing as a metaphor. Someone else did that for her.
She had to have somebody else do it for her. No, unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That's cuck behavior, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So, what about Sun-hee, Ben?
She wants to fuck that old man so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiryu does not even notice her.
I'm so sorry, girl. Again, single tear saluting. I understand completely.
Now, the thing is that I feel like I do feel like we might need to eliminate her on the technicality that Kiryu is and will always remain a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So who is he fucking to cuck her?
Majima?
Well, obviously. I do, however, think Kiryu is a never nude, and if he fully ripped off his suit, he'd just have, like, jorts on underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it is very sad for her.
Mm-hmm.
But that man has never even, like, so much as seen Majima's nipple before. And he's dying of cancer.
I would conversely, and I'm okay with cutting Sun-hee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would conversely be okay with cutting Vincent Valentine because the worst scene of his cuckolding isn't in this game.
Yeah. That's...
I'm going to argue for cutting Sun-hee.
Okay.
Because the knowledge of what happened to Vincent in in classic FF7 it carries over into Rebirth and is assisted by the PS5 showing you just how of an ugly bastard Hojo is.
You know, and you know what? Since Sun-hee was your nomination, if you're saying we should cut her, we'll cut her.
Yeah,
right.
That's my.
And I think that is true because, like, it's like, okay, Vincent Valentine famously got cucked, you know, throughout the history of gaming, and that's not great.
Mm-hmm.
And even like when Dirge of Cerberus came out and it gave us a slightly like higher fidelity Hojo to look at, Hojo was like not good looking, but he just kind of looked like an older Asian guy.
He wasn't unattractive, he was just homely.
Yeah. He wasn't like hideous.
But now
Hojo looks like he eats cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he
looks like the text of like a Dojin board's like Neto Rare tag.
Yeah.
You if you put Frosty the Snowman's hat on the jacket Randy Pitchford was wearing.
Well, where do you think Randy Pitchford's jacket got all that oil from, anyway?
You know, like
Hojo.
He is the embodiment of the jacket that Randy was wearing at the Game Awards.
Hojo is a Gijinka for the rainbow effect in a puddle in the parking lot.
So, unfortunately,
I feel like we're all talking ourselves and having Vincent be the winner again.
Which is sad because, 18 years running, he's still the biggest cuck in video games.
I'm going to make a protest vote.
Okay.
And let people, before we all lock in.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Vincent Valentine is that his most famous detail is that he was cucked badly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think Vincent Valentine is capable of getting it on his own. He just was cucked, right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Principal is spiritually the cuck. She will never be able to get it from anyone.
She's
That's
stuck
right.
in the chair.
She's stuck in the chair. She's never going to be able to get it. She's never going to get her fucking head pats. Yeah.
So here's my fun counter argument.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to find a good enough picture of Moog and I can't find him, but I was going to say he looks like this. But there's no good pictures of him and it's pissing me off.
Sorry.
I will also say for Moog, as the other counter to the thing, he does get cucked to death.
That's true. Ooh.
Ooh, but so did Vincent.
No, but Vincent got better. And also he has a new boyfriend now, if you're
Also, here's Moog, by
brave
the way.
enough. I want to see.
Did you find like a handsome fan art of him?
No.
Oh, I see. Oh, no.
Why would I do that?
The exact
Because I think it's funnier.
See now you're talking me. You're talking Moog Principal up to Vincent's level.
I will say
he's this guy. He's like 20 feet tall. He has an abducted child bride that he's very in gay love for, but it also was only brainwashed to do that so that his body could be used for incestuous evil.
Like,
damn it, that's so good.
There's
You're
blood.
right.
There's blood in the water there. I love that one. That's the problem. I love Moog.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Truly.
I can't give it to Vincent, if only because Vincent is still cool, even if he did get cucked. He's still like a cool and funny character, right? We love.
And there's still time for him to be biggest cuck when Part 3 comes out.
That's correct.
That's when we get the details in Part 3.
It's gonna be. You know how they didn't give Lord of the Rings any awards until the third one?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
Welcome back, Cuck.
Okay, you know what?
Okay, that sells me on it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to give my vote to Principal because my logic is that if given the choice between an abrupt pain that only lasts for a moment that's very intense or a long-lasting minor pain, I'm going to take the abrupt pain. So I think Principal getting cucked in perpetuity by the natural flow of the world is worse.
I think I want to vote for Moog. You have all sold me. I haven't even played Shadow of the Erdtree, but I am compelled by this cuck narrative.
like Sarah, I need you to look at this. Hold on.
I am compelled.
Okay, so
I have one more, and here's the thing, because I think I might also vote for Moog, because, like, I think it is funny for Moog to be the biggest cuck. But I do have to stress, there's one other funny moment that cements him in cuckoldry for me.
Okay.
Which is you get to near the end of Erdtree, and one of your buddies in Erdtree is this guy who used to, because like you have to kill Moog before you can do Erdtree, right? It's part of the plot. One of the guys you work with is someone who used to work for him, like someone who used to, not work for him, someone who used to be like one of his like loyal like followers, right? Because they're all like gods, demigods, so like a worshiper to a certain extent.
Sure.
And you get to the end of the thing, he's like, hey, by the way, are you the one who killed Lord Moog? And like, obviously, like he's your buddy, and so you're honest with him, and you say, yeah. And he's like, well, I mean, he was competing in this thing, so you know, all's fair and fair. Like he doesn't even care that much that you killed his demigod, and it's like, man.
No, I guess I have to vote for Moog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and here's my compelling argument.
Uh-huh.
Basically, since the game came out, people have been drawing him and Mikola like this.
Uh-huh.
And for the reveal that he isn't the ugly bastard, but the pathetic wimpy cuck is the funniest fucking thing possible.
Okay.
It is.
It's compelling.
All right.
It speaks to me, yes.
I am going to change my vote to Moog. Just so it's a Moog sweep.
Moog sweep. And you thought that you shouldn't be able to nominate DLCs for Game of the Year contention. I'm going to say that because we also made arguments for it, second place should be Principal.
I agree.
Don't worry. Spiritually huge cuck.
Don't worry, Vinny. You'll get your time.
Yeah.
He's still getting a bronze medal in cuckoldry, which, I mean, like, here's the thing. They say that bronze medalists are happiest, but in this case, he has been denied victory in 2 ways.
Okay, before we do the next award, I have to get some water. I'm fucking dying. I'll be
That's
right back.
okay. The next one's a doozy.
The next one we'll be going into this one. This has some prime choices in it.
Oh my god, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
That's 7 of them.
Yeah, the next set of categories will probably be the end of this part because we might not even get that far. We might not even get through all.
It might take an hour just to get rid of this one.
Yeah, we might be locked in.
Oh my god, there's 3 more. There's 3 more pages.
Yeah, It keeps going. We're definitely doing 2 parts.
Yeah. Otherwise, we would be here forever.
We also have to go into our individual games of the year.
Oh, God.
This will definitely be a 2-parter. Good, I'm glad. This is an event for me. This is a special time that I love. It's like Christmas again.
Yeah. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this list going like, oh my god, this all happened the same year.
I know.
I'm back with water. Hi. It's warm and...
This all happened the same year.
I know.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, Sarah, since you were getting water, we are going to keep going, but we are definitely going to split this in 2 parts.
Oh yeah, no, because otherwise we're going to be here for 6.5 hours.
Yeah, the next 4 categories is what locks this into 2 parts.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I want to do this one. This one. Because the next one is the most important one. It's Scumbag of the Year. And this is a full category. The nominees are Bryce Fairchild from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Hank McLean from the Fallout TV show, Microsoft for what they did to Tango Gameworks and Arcane, Zoralja from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, Jimmy from Mouthwashing, Knower from 1000X Resist, and Sentinel Prime from Transformers 1. You're right. There's a reason we broke this into 2 episodes, and it's going to be this category.
It is like
shit.
Just trying to cut this one down from 7 to 4 or 7 to 3 is going to be a nightmare.
It's going to be very, very hard.
I need to ask an early question because it's important. Do we want to cut Microsoft on the premise that it is going to be too easy of a win for Microsoft if it's left in the category?
I think...
That's a good argument,
That's a really good argument.
I think you make a good point because Microsoft affected real people, and I feel like that's too depressing for the Gorgies.
Here's the thing. In your heart of hearts, you know that if we left Microsoft here, obviously the collective organization of Microsoft is Scumbag of the Year, maybe even Scumbag of the Decade, because all the games industry layoffs are basically their direct fault.
Correct.
However, I feel like they can't be compared to the various fictional scumbags on contention here, because like, otherwise it's zero contest.
Yeah.
It's like saying who's worse, Hitler or Bowser.
Well, that one's easy. Bowser's only killed like one person.
Oh god. I'm gonna make another easy cut so we can at least make this a little less painful. Zeralja does not evoke enough potent emotions in me to give him an award for anything.
I think this man is not a scumbag of the year, but he is a dirtbag of the year.
He's a deadbeat.
So
of the
he is.
year.
He is a deadbeat.
He is a deadbeat of the year. That's true.
So he definitely gets the out on a technicality. Now get out of my house. You've been evicted.
Would that he could have been in a category where we had deadbeat dad of the year. Unfortunately for me, Zoral Jaws, like, I think he's straight up too dumb to be a scumbag. Like, he sucks, but he doesn't have enough. He's not enough of a schemer to me to be a true.
He's not compelling enough to be a true scumbag.
You know what it is? He's too villainous to be a scumbag.
Yeah.
He's too card carrying. He's too. He's too Power Rangers.
Okay, we've worked this down to 5, and it's not getting any easier.
No, it is not.
It's actually gotten harder, because now that we've narrowed down the 2 easy targets, all that's left is like, how do you cut any of these?
So, I think for fairness' sake, we should probably explain Bryce Fairchild to the rest of us, and we should probably explain Sentinel Prime to Saturn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we can have the context.
Bryce Fairchild is... So the plot of Infinite Wealth, Ichiban's side, centers around trying to find his mom in Hawaii.
Right.
And when you get to Hawaii, it turns out that his mom has been working for an orphanage that does a religious orphanage that does a lot of charity work, and the leader of that religion is Bryce Fairchild. And he's set up as this very nice guy that you meet. He's very worried about Ichiban's mom because she's gone missing, and is really hoping that the gang can find her. It turns out that he is the primary villain of the game. And not only is he using his status as a religious leader to brainwash the orphans in the orphanage into joining his crusade, much like a cult. It's not a religion, it's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course.
But he's also the crux behind the main issue they're dealing with, which is since the dissolution of the Yakuza from Like a Dragon 7, the work program that Ichiban has been trying to spearhead by getting ex-Yakuzas out of the 5-year plan so they can actually get jobs. One of those jobs involves waste disposal in Hawaii. Nuclear waste disposal.
Oh no.
And by disposal, we mean dump it all in a big pit in a cave on a distant island in Hawaii.
I see.
And Bryce Fairchild is spearheading that campaign to just use ex-Yakuza members as carrier mules to haul radioactive waste into a big pit.
Do they know that it's radioactive waste that they're hauling to the big pit?
They know, and they also know that they don't have a choice because they can't get a job anywhere else.
They're the Yakuza.
I see. Okay, either way, not great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He
that's
is
pretty bad.
He is exploiting people who are genuinely trying to get back on their feet after being ex-criminals. He is also brainwashing people into just sacrificing themselves for him to throw themselves at Ichiban's party.
Right.
To protect him once they figure out what he's up to. Just in general, just like the kind of shocking twist scumbag that you would expect.
Yeah. Also, just a side note, Ben, you were like, it's not a religious thing, it's a cult. Don't worry, we know. It's a white guy in Hawaii with a religious group.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know. Okay, real quick, Sentinel Prime, let's do this. Sentinel Prime is the main villain of Transformers 1, and he pitches himself as the last of the Primes. The Primes were like the holy order of knights who used to protect Cybertron, back in the day. They all died, and he's the last one, right? And he's trying to lead Cybertron, and unfortunately that means that some of you are going to have to go die in the mines, right? But it's for the good of Cybertron, right? Mm-hmm. To keep everybody safe from the Quintessons, who are the alien invading force that they fought off. Turns out, Sentinel Prime is colluding with the Quintessons to keep them from attacking Cybertron. He killed all of the Primes. And anytime a new Transformer is born, he takes out their transformation cog, so they can't even transform. If you're just a lowly mine worker, you work down in the fucking mines, you can't even transform, because he takes it out of you as soon as you're born and gives it to the fucking Quintessons, right?
It's ghoulish in part because this system has only been in place for what's implied to be only 50 years, mm-hmm. and nobody alive within any of the cities mm-hmm. have ever understood a system in which they were born with the ability to transform.
Right. So it's literally, it's the concept of mutilating newborn children as soon as they pop out of the ground, right? Mm-hmm. In order to maintain his control over basically the lowest class of people. Because, higher class people are allowed to transform, right? And don't mm-hmm. worry, he gets his, and it owns, but it's still pretty scumbaggy.
He is,
right?
This is a long line of Sentinel Primes being huge jerks, and this is the peak of Sentinel Prime being a huge jerk.
Also, he's voiced by John Hamm, just ironically hamming it up, so,
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's pretty good.
I'm going to suggest a cut.
Okay.
Yes.
I think we can cut Hank McLean.
I could never hate Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, well, I mean, not because he's not a scumbag, he is, but he probably should have been in Biggest Cuck, but couldn't even get that going.
You are kind of right.
You're right.
And I think just
him.
In relative comparison to the 4 other scumbags of the year, I think his scumbaggery is relatively sedate in comparison.
He's small time.
He's a 2-bit scumbag.
Every time I see him, I just go, "Aw, Kyle MacLachlan."
Aw, Kyle MacLachlan, you like coffee, don't you? Yeah. Buster.
The rest, everyone else on this list has a body count when they shouldn't, but Hank McLean does live in the world of Fallout.
Everybody's got a body count there. Granted, his body count is the worst of them all, considering he's the one who did Shady Sands in. But, it's Kyle MacLachlan.
He is also, of a part with the rest of Voltec, to a certain extent, right? He's a scumbag in a cadre of scumbags.
He's an arm of Voltec.
Yeah.
A tool, if you will. He's a tool.
He is a tool, that's for sure.
We still have one more to cut.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is so hard.
Because what we've got left are the worst of the worst, right? Because fuck Nowhere.
Because Bryce Fairchild is heavily implied to be the reason that Kirio has cancer.
Yeah.
I also can't... Here's the thing. Nowhere is my favorite, but I also can't cut her because she sucks ass.
She's terrible.
She's horrible. Oh my god, she's awful. And I
can't in good conscience cut Jimmy because
cut Jimmy.
Mouthwashing is a video game about how Jimmy is the worst man to have ever lived.
That's correct.
Sentinel Prime is because if you were to consider the robots as the Transformers as human, this would be an NC-17 movie.
Right. But okay.
Oh my god, this is hard.
I will make the argument for cutting Sentinel Prime.
Okay, what's the argument?
It's that he gets his in an extremely satisfying way. Right? Like, Jimmy doesn't really get his the way he deserves. Noah can get hers, but it doesn't feel good, right? Mm-hmm. And Bryce Fairchild is a fucking monster who gave Kazuma Kiryu cancer. But Sentinel Prime gets torn in half on the big screen by Megatron, and it kicks ass. It's the best part of the movie.
And his work is undone, unlike Fairchild, which lingers on well after him.
Well, I was gonna say, like, with my being the person who doesn't know either of them, and if I was between cutting one or the other, the Sentinel Prime Scumbag is the thing you encounter when you have someone in, like, a bad position who makes a bad decision for what they perceive to be the greater good. Bryce Fairchild's is like a 3-layered cartoon villain scheme.
Oh, no. Make no mistake. Sentinel Prime deliberately colluded with and killed the other Primes entirely so that he could go from a guy named Sentinel into rewriting history so that he could be called the last of the Primes.
Yeah, I guess it should be pointed out. Sentinel Prime is also not a Prime. Like, he got all of the other Primes killed so he could lie to everybody and say he's the last Prime.
He was one of those guys' secretaries. It'd be like it would be like if Hermes said that he is the last of the Olympian pantheon.
Right.
Now, in that case, I would that makes me want to argue for cutting Bryce because I gotta respect the hustle.
Yeah.
I think it's genuine
supreme.
I think it's genuine king shit to tear down the Knights of the Round Table because you're just some guy and you want to be the new King Arthur. I respect the hustle deeply. Though I guess that means I could voluntarily cut him for Scumbag of the Year because I think the reasons he did the things he did are objectively funny.
I see.
Yeah. I definitely think it should be Sentinel Prime because it's funny, and also he gets his super, super hard. Like, he gets his really, really hard, and it rules.
He gets old Michael Bay style.
Yeah, he
decapitated.
He gets give me your face.
Yeah,
I'll give him a special gray out to signify the honorable fourth place.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which leads us to our top 3: Bryce Fairchild, Jimmy, and Noah.
Jimmy.
You know what? I think I have to give it to Jimmy for sure.
Sorry.
I will give the honorable second place vote to Noah because I just have to. I love her so much. She sucks so bad. She is the collaborator, and also someone who should be on the Cuck chair just a little bit.
She's also in the Cuck chair. She's a huge collaborator. She just coldly, cruelly tortures the protagonist for a really long time.
It's great how pretty much every nominee on this list, out of the top 4 that we had here, every single one of them had a moment where you just like the turn happens and the gravity of their crimes hits you so hard that you are literally stunned.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes from being like, oh, you kind of suck, to just like, oh,
like when you
okay,
like playing Infinite Wealth and like the realization that, oh, Bryce Fairchild just gave a bunch of ex-Yakuzas cancer.
Right.
You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Entirely because he hated their ass and wanted labor exploitation.
Yeah, right. because to profit off of it.
Sure. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, we barely discussed how much Jimmy sucks, but make no mistake.
Yeah. Oh,
Jimmy
do not think we do not need to talk about Jimmy. No. I need to nominate him and move on.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You will play mouthwashing and you will understand all the bad things that Jimmy has done in the span of about 2 hours, and then you will agree with us completely.
That's correct.
It's really funny how we cut Microsoft because it would be unfair, and then unanimously nominated Jimmy.
I knew that was going to happen. If we didn't get rid of Jimmy, Jimmy was going to win.
Yeah.
Let it be known, this is the only time Jimmy has ever gotten a W.
Jimmy is such an easy pick for this because at no point does he ever do anything that can be justified.
Oh no! At no point does he ever seem likable at all.
Yeah, there's not even the hint, like the microscopic hint of
humanity.
Yeah, of anything sympathetic about him. It's not like he made a mistake. He did everything deliberately for the worst reasons.
Exactly.
And the reason why I think he's fair is, ironically, of the fictional characters here, his is the most constrained villainy, where his reach is only about 4 people.
Mm-hmm. But it's so, it's so vile, right?
The vileness inflicted upon those 4 people is beyond measure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. It's gotta be him.
Okay then.
Sentinel Prime, you were almost there. This was the tightest race it's been so far.
Sentinel Prime, I want you to know that even though you have 4th place on the Scumbag of the Year list, you're a winner in my heart. I deeply respect whatever it was you did in that movie.
I think we need to watch Transformers 1.
We do need to watch Transformers 1.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to do Blorbo?
Who hasn't gone in a while?
I feel like at least in part 1 we can get Blorbo, Scrimblo, and Scrungly.
I agree.
I think
that feels correct to me.
Because that means that we start with the "Sorry We Didn't Get to You" award. Which
yeah, perfect.
I feel like Oates has only done like 1, maybe.
No, I've done 2. I just did the one right before, the biggest cuck.
Oh, okay. I think I've only done 1. I think.
Yeah, Saturn. I think it's you go. You're Saturn.
All right, I'll do Blorbo of the Year, folks. It's gonna be Blorbo from our shows, which
our favorite.
And here's
guys.
the thing: if you don't know the distinction between Blorbo, Scrimblo, and Scrungly, you will hopefully be able to work it out through context clues, because we're not going to explain it particularly.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Our nominees for Blorbo of the Year are Malinoe from Hades 2, Rufus Shinra from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Eric Tomizawa from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, The Ghoul from Fallout the TV show, Bakul Jaja from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, Leda the Needle Knight from Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, and Megatron from Transformers 1.
This is an impossible category!
Once again, we have a list of 7, and cutting this to 3 is going to be a bloodbath.
I'm gonna be wretched, and I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off right now. I think we need to take the Ghoul off of Blorbo of the Year.
No, this isn't like Microsoft.
You have to explain your reasoning.
You have to.
Okay. And I can't stress this enough. He's too Tumblr sexy, man.
But that's like the essence of Blorbo.
He fits so comfortably in that spot that the second, even if you were to reduce it to Rufus Shinra, the Ghoul, and Megatron, I think the Ghoul's kind of a clear winner.
No, you know what? Okay, I'm going to make a suggestion for that and a second cut.
Okay.
I'm going to suggest cutting the Ghoul and a Malinoe.
Okay.
Because we're getting season 2 of the Fallout TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And Hades 2 is eventually going to launch for real and not in early access.
Yes.
Which means both of these people have a chance to come back and win Blorbo of the Year in the future.
And just as importantly, we're going to get more The Ghoul content, which is going to categorically skyrocket him even deeper into Blorbo territory.
I will say,
I don't think it's safe or healthy to let him win Blorbo of the Year twice.
I think it's too preemptive to give him Blorbo this year.
And I will say, I do think that one of the primary things you say about your Blorbo is that he's my little guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if he is neither little nor a guy, right?
It's the guy that you've been rotating in your head.
Yeah.
And I would not describe the Ghoul as my little guy. I would describe the Ghoul in far more vile terms. Oh.
Yeah, he's my funkle grunkle.
He's sure the fucking something. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Well, let's
Okay.
mark off Malinois and the Ghoul then. We will happily see you two return in the future.
That's right. Look forward to next year.
Saturn Oats, tell us about Late of the Needle Night.
That's gonna be on me.
Yeah, I still never got to Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm sorry, Saturn.
Okay, so you know that thing I mentioned about how Mikola is like a brainwasher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the premise for your early cast in Shadow of the Erdtree is that they've all been compelled to come to this place, to this land, to the whatever they call the fucking area in Shadow of the Erdtree. Escapes me off the moment.
The donut hole.
Yeah. But they've all basically compelled here to help Mikola nebulously. They're all in some way, attended to Mikola. She is the one who is she is just straight up paladin of Mikola, right? Like she is a faithful knight who is loyal, who's been loyal to that demigod from the beginning. But that group is a whole bunch of really disparate folks, including that guy earlier who I was talking about who used to work for Moog. Mm-hmm. The reason is that at the beginning of Shadow of the Erdtree, all of them are brainwashed to come to this location to help Mikola. Mm-hmm. Now, once there's a moment that happens in the story where Mikola's seal breaks and the brainwashing breaks as a result, and the group cohesion starts to immediately plummet because people are no longer mind controlled, right? Mm-hmm. A big part of this is my darling beloved Late of the Needle Knight, who is like if Saber Fate Stay Knight was a fascist psychopath. As soon as the brainwashing breaks, she goes, well, yeah, I'm obviously still here for Mikola, but I cannot trust any of these other people. And the instant she becomes suspicious of someone, she enlists your help to go kill them. And as you might expect, she will eventually turn on you too, because she realizes that you are the greatest threat to Mikola.
So Leda is the one who literally looks like Saber?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures
She's
of her
the one
now,
that people have drawn fan art of as Saber, because she's just Saber.
Okay, because she literally, when I saw the promotional images of her for Erdtree, I was like, that's a Saber face. That's just, FromSoft's version of a Saber face.
She's she's got the personality of Mordred and Lancelot combined together into a Saber face.
Okay.
Which I dig.
She's very fun. I like her a lot.
Understand.
I would here's the thing. If it comes to it, I would willingly accept that maybe she doesn't make the cut. But I put her on here because I have faith in her.
I understand.
I understand. She is among strong competitors.
This is still really hard. How can you ask me to cut Megatron? I can't.
See, here's the thing.
It's the second best Megatron.
Sarah, here's the thing. Do we need to change it so that it says D16 instead of Megatron?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I think it's still perfectly fine because he's at his best at the very end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Granted, he's more Blorbo
just
core.
My little guy.
Grant, that's what I'm saying though. He's definitely more Blorbo core at the beginning of the movie. So he is still, in fact, my little guy. But I can't, in good conscience, I can't.
Oh, here's okay.
Tell me more about Eric Tomizawa so I can feel justified in cutting him.
That's so mean.
No, I'm going to counter-argue. I think we should cut Bakul Jaja because I love him, but I don't think he's Blorbo.
He's not the guy from my shows because that's clearly Kryl, right?
It would be Kryl or Wuklamat.
I would sooner nominate Kawana for Blorbo from my show.
Kawana's very Blorbo core, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot Kawana existed.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. They did too for most of Dawntrail.
Yeah.
Sorry, that is a Blorbo of the year. I'm sorry, Bakul Jaja. We can't put you on there in good conscience.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for holding this spot, though.
Yeah. Now, do we want to put Kawana on the list?
No.
Okay.
We've already made this.
No, we do have to treat him like the FF14 writers do. We'll get to him when we do the point 1 of the Gorgies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Ben. if he really deserved it, we'd have remembered.
Okay, let me tell you a bit about Eric Tomizawa and why I've been rotating him in my head since I finished Infinite Wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Eric Tomizawa is the most normal guy to be a main character in a Yakuza game.
Man, even more than baseball player Yakuza 5?
Even more than that, because he's just this guy that kind of looks like an otter. And he's just a cab driver. His thing is that when Ichiban first lands in Hawaii, he gets in a taxi and he gives the taxi driver the envelope with his mom's address on it. It turns out that the cab driver is a guy who rips off tourists, drives them to an alleyway, and then robs them at gunpoint.
I see.
And at this point, Ichiban's like, I don't have any money, man. So instead, he takes the envelope with Akane-san's address on it and eats it. and then when Ichiban knocks him out, he runs to the police and uses broken English to accuse Ichiban of assaulting him with a gun. This is Eric Tomizawa. He's just this guy that Ichiban happens to run into. And then later on it's revealed that he's a low-level grunt who works for Yukata Yamai. And Ichiban and Kiryu just kind of recruit him. Because they're like Eric points a gun at them later on in the game and then he's like, they're like, you don't want to shoot us, man. Like, you don't want to be a part of this. And then he's like, yeah, but they'll kill me if I don't. And they're like, well, we'll protect you. And he's like, okay. And he joins your party. I'm sorry.
He does have the look of a Blorbo.
I am looking at him, and I am getting... You are right to describe him as an otter. He is kind of making the Bucky's face.
He is. That is the most normal-looking dude I've ever seen.
The best part is that this is exactly what his mocap actor looks like.
I
bet if you take off his glasses, he'll turn into Superman.
Yeah, no.
I think you have to leave his glasses on so the Tumblr girlies can draw like insanely deranged cum shots.
And it's funny. It's hilarious because like he does have a backstory that leads on to into things, but like the rest of the party members in Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth, like both games, like have a connection to the overall story.
Right.
Like Adachi recruits Ichiban to investigate a thing that leads to the overarching plot of Like a Dragon 7, right? Like Nanba has a connection to it. Like these characters all have connection to it. Eric is like if you recruited one of the generic enemies you fought in
Sarikia.
Yeah, like just like an earlier episode, if you just like went up to one of the random like street thugs and went, hey, we need your help.
See, I can't wait for you to get into Yakuza 3 so you can meet Rikia. Because this guy is just a Rikia-like.
His voice actor, in English at least, does this amazing quirk with his dialogue too, where he'll add sound effects to his speaking. Like he'll do the thing where like if he says like it went over their heads, he'll go, it went over their heads.
Great.
He's got this, it's like kind of like nerdy and nasally, but it's like it's so entertaining. And his skill is cab driver.
Right.
He attacks people. He wields a socket wrench for his primary weapon, and all of his attacks involve things like throwing a cross wrench or a steering wheel at enemies. His finishing move is he pulls them into a cab and then crashes it.
So an Usopp is what you're telling me.
He's a lot like the Usopp. Yeah, he's just
like an Usopp. Yeah.
He's just a normal guy, and he's constantly going, what the hell are you guys talking about? Whenever like Ichiban or Kiryu like talk about their exploits, there's like, what do you mean we're gonna go into the fucking underground like homeless shelter of Hawaii? That's insane. No one comes out of there. And they're like, we'll just come out.
We'll handle it.
I'm willing, on grounds of passion alone, to cede the seat at the table, at the podium, to Eric from Leda, if only because it occurs to me I should have put her in best rival on account of her boss fight, because she would have won that category.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
He's just miscategorized. That's
why we
sad.
should put Rufus in best rival too.
But you don't.
Unfortunately,
Okay, because Rufus is Blorbo to me.
Yeah, Rufus.
The thing about Leda, though, and I will explain something about Leda, why I'm realizing I should have put her in rival. Her boss fight, because she has one, is not a normal Dark Souls boss fight. It's her buddy Dryleaf Dane, who's also a follower of Mikola, and then everybody else in the main party whose quest you didn't finish right.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
And your side is you, maybe a buddy if you saved him or not, and the couple of people whose quests you did finish right.
I see.
And it becomes a slugfest between the things because she is your rival, and that's why I'm like, I should have put her in that.
Yeah, but that's that's the thing is we should have put Rufus in rival. He's very Blorbo core.
I'm going to disagree with that because you do get a spectacular boss fight with him.
Right.
The thing is, of these three, I'm actually going to just go ahead and say I'm casting my vote for Rufus Shinra.
Okay.
Because here's what I'm going to say is that Roche is Cloud's rival. Rufus has too many enemies to have one rival.
Yeah. Rufus, the thing is that can Rufus be a rival if he doesn't consider Cloud one?
Yeah.
That's true.
Rufus and Cloud is just business.
Rufus, as you would hope for a Blorbo, is like a yaoi bicycle.
Yes.
Okay, so
Saturn understands.
That actually is true.
So I think
you understand my maiden's heart better than I understand my maiden's heart, Saturn. Good job.
Exactly.
During our LP, I brought up the idea that if Cloud and the party were running away from Shinra on rollerblades, Rufus would put on rollerblades too to chase them.
Right.
But that's professional courtesy. That's not the burning heart of rivalry.
Right. I guess that's true. That's
Rufus has equal disdain for everyone in the group. It's just that Cloud is the current leader of the party.
Right, and
he also has equal disdain for everybody who's on his side too. He mostly just much like Xenos, he mostly just kind of hates everyone.
He just kind of hates everyone and just kind of wishes this would all be over so he can go on vacation, which is extremely relatable and is what makes him the best character in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I know that's controversial, but it's true.
Now, the other thing I will say, because I did give a passionate defense of Eric Tomizawa, I want to be fair and give a slightly lesser one to Megatron. Just because most of us have seen it besides Saturn, but I just want to say, out of professional courtesy to Saturn, this is the second best Megatron to ever exist. And he is really close behind More Than Meets the Eye, Megatron. Yeah. I don't say that lightly.
I believe it.
He's really good. It's the only problem is that Transformers 1 is a really good movie that probably could have stood to been 20 minutes longer, but it's cursed to be an animated movie, right? So, and they don't make 2.5 hour long animated movies the way they make other slop 2.5 hours long. And Transformers 1 is the rare movie where I would say that it actually could stand to be longer so that you could get more breathing room between this is the betrayal and this is the other betrayal, right? Like the moment our sweet baby boy D16 realizes everything he ever lived for was a lie, and I am now Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, right? Like there's not enough introspection between those two moments. I mean, there's like a lot of time between those two moments, but it still feels very like it doesn't feel like it has enough air. But that's just because it's cursed to be an animated movie, although it can only ever be an animated movie. But, I mean, he's still really good. He's still really, really good in Transformers 1. Like, that whole character arc and writing and voice acting and character design, it's all, like, really well done. It's really solid. It's a genuinely great movie, and they're never gonna make another one.
I know.
Which is why I definitely think I want to put my vote towards Megatron, because I think Transformers 1 deserves a W, and they've been blacklisted from the Oscars. So.
Yeah.
So we still need Sarah and Ben's votes for this category.
Oh, this is hard.
You go vote. You vote first, Ben.
Okay. I did give my passionate defense for Eric Tomizawa. I am glad to see him in the top 3.
Correct.
But I'm thinking about that scene in Transformers 1 where Megatron says that he wants to kill Sentinel Prime.
Right. And you just rotate it in your head.
And I am rotating that in my head. Eric Tomizawa, if it were just me, I would give it to him, but this is bigger than me.
Right.
See, for me, the Blorbo moment is the reveal that Megatron's Decepticon patch is a holofoil collectible sticker.
It's adorable.
That's also
adorable.
That's also very strong. Now, granted, I've had Eric Tomizawa's battle grunts rotating in my head. So I don't know if anyone else does this, but I do this thing where like I will be able to reset my brain by playing an audio clip in my brain.
Sure. Understand. No, totally. It gets a song stuck like that is stuck in your head, out of your head.
Yeah. Usually in the past it's been the announcer clips selecting characters in Smash Brothers or in Dragon Ball Fighters.
Sure.
Lately it has been Riker to Picard, go ahead, Commander. Because that is a line of dialogue that shows up maybe once every other episode of TNG.
Yeah, you know.
I'm actually, side note, surprised by the lack of Star Trek in this.
Well, Star Trek didn't come out in 2024.
I guess that's true.
I did not personally watch a whole lot of Star Trek this year, so I didn't actually nominate anything.
I didn't think to.
I have one of the ones that has cropped up lately though is Eric Tomizawa going, let's go whenever you select him in battle.
I see.
But I am putting my vote towards Megatron.
See, now we have a problem because I am going to cast my vote for Rufus Shinra because I do a good job of hiding my power level, at least on the podcast. In everywhere else, less so. But I mean, what a great I think that a lot of Final Fantasy VII remake, like as a project, is a little bloated. Okay, a lot bloated. It could have been 2 games, right? Like, there's a lot of fluff. But, like, all the additional shit with Rufus is, like... It justifies the project. All the additional shit with Aerith and Rufus justify the existence of the entire project because they're both really they're good-ass additions just in general. The degree of haterism in this one rich boy's body is insane. There's nobody in FF7 who I want to put in a snow globe and shake more than Rufus Shinra.
Sarah, your mic completely cut out.
Oh, did it really?
A little bit, just at the end. Okay, you're back.
It just cut out.
Oh man, I'm so tired of my computer. I gotta get a new one, y'all.
It's okay.
What did we lose?
You got up to there's nobody in like the entirety of FF7, and I said, okay,
there's nobody in the entire of FF7 I want to put in a snow globe and shake like Rufus Shinra because the incredible audacity to spoil the plot of Ever Crisis before it actually happens in the game by showing one of the major crises of Ever Crisis getting fucking domed like a dog.
So, besides the rotating of Megatron saying I want to kill Sentinel Prime,
sure,
I am rotating Rufus shooting whatever Glenn is.
It's so good. Go ahead, Setter.
I'm going to make an argument here for our gold and silver. As we have established, Megatron Transformers 1 is the second best Megatron, which means he can be second best Blorbo of the year.
Correct.
Rufus Shinra FF7 Rebirth is the best Rufus Shinra.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm willing to make that. I just think he's neat. I think it's great. It's so also because I think constantly like he fucking domes Glenn, and it's just like this super cold like point blank shot to the head, and it's like a perfect like mirroring of how they handled the Sapphire weapon later in OG FF7, because very famously Rufus Shinra shot a god in the face and it worked. Which is just cool.
Mm-hmm. He's a very cool guy.
It's just a cool character.
I don't know if I would give Rebirth the best Rufus Shinra.
I would.
Advent Children is pretty strong, though.
Advent Children is a really good...
See, because, yeah, exactly. Advent Children's right there.
A real son would know.
A good son.
Yeah, real son would know.
A good son would have known.
I have not watched Advent
We need to watch.
Children.
We need to watch Advent Children.
In
honor of Blorbo of the Year, we all need to watch Advent Children and Transformers 1.
No,
yeah.
wait, hold on. I have an even better way we can resolve this if we're still debating, because it sounds like we're not all entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do we want in the Disgorge icon more?
Ooh, Megatron.
I'm still saying Rufus.
I'm still saying Rufus. I love my boy. I just think he's so good in Rebirth. Oh, it's up to you. I guess we could just continue this stalemate forever, or we flip a coin.
We could continue this stalemate forever, because I'm also just thinking about how extremely sick it would be to have the Gorge just replaced for an entire month with Megatron was right.
Yeah, but
Fuck.
Do we want to do? Here's what we should do.
Okay.
I'll do a coin toss. I'll do a digital coin toss, a 1d2.
How fitting, because our sweet boy Rufus's whole thing in Rebirth is coins.
And Megatron is D1 too.
So
D16.
Yeah, right.
So we're gonna say that a result of a 1 is Megatron, a result of a 2 is Rufus.
Okay.
Sure.
Roll 1d2. And it had the ones have it.
The ones have it.
All right.
Tragic.
Megatron is taking our gold medal on a literal coin toss.
If it was going to be a Blorbo of the Year, it was going to be one of Sarah's, like,
this is what
big boys.
Yeah.
This happened last year, too. My derangement just kicked the door down and was like, no, I know who the answer is. Unfortunately, I'm okay with this choice.
Yeah.
I think Rufus Shinra looks better in silver.
Yeah, that's
true.
You know
That's
what?
true.
That's his color scheme. That's true. Granted, it's also Megatron's
also
color
Megatron.
scheme, but don't worry about it.
Listen, the point is, I want to see the three winners in a room together.
By the way, it took us a half an hour to get through a Blorbo of the Year and only 10 minutes to get through Scumbag of the Year.
Listen,
Well, let's try and take some Scumbag of the Year.
No, I just think it's funny that I just love that that we were afraid of Scumbag of the Year.
and I will say, much like Cuck of the Year and Scumbag of the Year, and actually Blorbo, like other Blorbo contenders, there's still another FF7 remake game coming out, and all the good shit's gonna be in that one. So I mean, in
Rufus...
2.5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
in however long it takes for the final remake game to come out, look out! I'm gonna give it to my
2030.
boys. 2030.
Now I will ask you all a quick question.
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try to get through Scrimblo and Scrungly now, or do we want to split it here?
Yes.
No, we have to get
I feel like we are honor bound to have Blorbo, Scrimblo, and Scrungly in the same episode.
And most importantly, the "We're so sorry we didn't get to you" award being the start of part 2 is the funniest fucking thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ben. That's too funny.
That's fine. I just wanted to do a check-in. So
yeah.
Is it okay if I take Scrimblo of the Year?
Do it.
You take Scrimblo.
All right. Our Scrimblo of the Year are Katesith, or Ketchi from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Secretary from 1000X Resist,
oh my little baby boy,
Dora from Hades 2, Gwimbly from Smiling Friends, the protagonist of Animal Well, Corn Servant of Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, Turbo Granny from Dawn to Dawn, and Snoutlet from Mario and Luigi Brothership.
This one's also really hard.
This one's really hard for me because it's one of those things where it's going to be harder to eliminate ones than it is for me to pick the one that I know I want to vote for Scrimblo of the year.
I know who I want to vote for, but it is going to be harder to narrow it down.
Right.
I already know who I'm voting for. So,
yeah.
I already know.
Do we want to like dispense with rules and just do a vote immediately?
Just immediately kill. Just immediately call the buckshot in the wall.
That's actually, let's do that because I feel like we're gonna have 4 different answers, right?
Okay, I think we should. Okay, so let's do this. Let's vote for gold, and then we can discuss who bronze and silver would be.
Okay. I'm voting for Turbo Granny.
God damn it.
I'm also voting for Turbo Granny, just in case it's not...
Well, shit, because I was going to vote for Secretary.
Here's it, and I will say, and we can discuss this for gold and silver, Secretary was going to be my easy second place.
Okay, then easy third place is Kate Sith, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, well there we go. Yep. We've already picked our 3. Look at that.
All right. Well, we can all agree Ketchi is bronze, so I'll just go ahead and mark him for that.
Cool.
Now we have to decide whether Secretary or Turbo Granny deserves gold.
It's Secretary! He's a sweet baby boy! He has a little baby voice, and he just wants to help. And it turns out he's a horrible alien from space, but he's not actually horrible. There's just a communication problem going on. It's just...
It's his voice.
It's his voice.
His voice does it for me.
And actually, you know what? I will give him gold. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to get more Dawn to Dawn this year. Which means it's not too late for Turbo Granny.
It's not too late for Turbo Granny.
She can proudly take silver this year and then get gold next, for all I care.
It's just that Secretary is so sweet. And so
he's such a good boy.
It's all in the baby voice.
Yeah.
And just the way he's so, like, soft and gentle. And, like, the whole game is about, like, failure to communicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about a lot of things, but one of them is, like, failure to communicate and not being able to make yourself understood, because that's, like, the aliens' whole problem is that they literally can't communicate with the people of Earth, and it causes problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Secretary being, like, their attempt to speak to people and, like, understand people so that there can be an actual exchange and just, you know, just that gentle sweetness and just all of it. I love that little shape. I love that little guy. He's my little guy.
He's got a great design.
He's extremely shaped. He's very, like, expressive, despite just being kind of like a little doodad, right?
I guess I'll give it to him because of the 3. Secretary is the one that I would gasp the most at whenever he gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying. And then they really hurt my sweet little baby, and it was horrible.
Because, like, I would do it for Turbo Granny, make no mistake. Mm-hmm. But there'd be tears in my eyes for Secretary or Kate Seth.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I guess I gotta give it to them.
I would punt Turbo Granny if given the option.
That's the reason why I vote for Turbo Granny, even though Secretary is, I think, my favorite of them, is that Turbo Granny has Neko Arc energy. And Neko Arc is the definitional Scrimblo.
That's true. Like, the platonic ideal of a Scrimblo for sure. But I mean, I love Turbo Granny. That's why she gets second. But I mean,
it's his voice. It's Secretary's voice is just too good.
Secretary is like the highlight of that game for me.
Mm-hmm. He's so good. He's just my little guy. I love him so much.
When he started talking, I gasped.
Right, because it's like pitch perfect casting of just like this sweet little voice. I love him. And then, of course, I mean, obviously Kate Sith, right?
Everybody
loves Kate. We all love Kate Sith. Actually, no, that's not true. I used to not like Kate Sith, and this game made me like Kate Sith. So that really said something.
The first time I played Classic FF7, I literally did not use Kate Sith unless it was required by the game.
Right.
I was like, no, I don't like gambler characters. I am not using your gimmick. Get out of here.
But no,
and then Rebirth made me love him.
Because especially because you can actually hear the Scottish accent. You can hear the Scottish accent in Dirge of Cerberus too. And he's really good in Dirge of Cerberus. Imagine that. In a game that is otherwise interminable. So that makes sense. Yeah, no. Kate Sith is also good. But, my little shapely boy, my little guy, he's just a little guy.
I do want to give a quick shout out to the dark Scrimblo that is Gwimbly.
Gwimbly.
I do not think that thing deserves Scrimblo. I'm sorry, Ben.
No.
That one is a misunderstanding of what makes a Scrimblo.
I just looked up Gwimbly. I don't like looking at Gwimbly.
This is not a Scrimblo. This is something that should be fired into the fucking sun.
As a Smiling Friends character, that's correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Though I do have to give him some credit because the Scrimblo comes from Scrimblo Bimblo, which someone making fun of people who tweet about their favorite N64 collectathon character not getting into Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that regard, Gwimbly really is a Scrimblo.
So here's the thing. The Scrimblo Bimblo thing and why this character actually is on here is because he is, in fact, a Scrimblo Bimblo, in that in the episode that he's of Smiling Friends that he's in, his thing is that he's a washed-up protagonist of an old 90s video game series. That's why he looks like a PS1 character.
I see.
He wants to get a bit more recognition, and what ends up happening is that he becomes a guest fighter in the serial numbers filed off version of Smash Brothers that the characters play at the end of the game.
So he's literally a Scrimblo.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
No, because he did get into it instead of didn't get into it.
Good point. That's actually a really good point.
So
but I think he deserves an honorable mention.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to point him out because I'm the only one who watched Smiling Friends, and I think he's one of the funniest fucking characters in that series. There's a bit where he gets really mad at the current CEO of the studio he used to do games for, and they included a bit where the actor's microphone peaks while he's yelling at him.
Great. Okay. One more. I haven't done this one.
Yes.
I haven't done one in a minute, so I'm taking this one, and this is our last one for part 1. Great. There's so much. Okay, one more. Scrungly of the year. Hopefully, now that we have now gone through what a Blorbo, a Scrimblo, and a Scrungly are, you understand. If you don't, I can't help you.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. So it is Red 13, specifically Baby Voice Edition from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Izutsumi from Dungeon Meshi. Gululja, not Gululja, the little guy from Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. The Horn Scent from Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. BB, not the Fate one, the one from Anthology of the Killer. Adam from Pluto. Kay Faraday from Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. And finally, Idol, I guess you just say Idol, from Mario and Luigi Brothership.
We get to end on a... Well, we managed to avoid the bloodbath last time by just cutting to the heart of the matter. I think we are not going to get off so easy.
No, this is too hard.
This easy. No.
I'm gonna kill all of you if you don't allow my winner to go. Gonna blow up this whole game.
Blow up this whole building. If you don't cheer for my little guy, I swear to God, I'll blow up this whole building. Yeah. So we have to wait, how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh God, there's 8?
I will start us off. I'm going to cut one of my own nominees of the Horn Scent. Because I do like him. I don't think he stacks up to the rest of these Scrunglies, though.
Sure.
His whole thing is he's one of your main party crew. He's this horrible... Hold on, let me just get a picture of him real quick. I should have done that before we did the thing. He's got this horrible headgear and shitty ass rags. Here's a glamour shot of him.
Oh boy.
He looks like this.
No!
Christ.
His head's kind of like this weird mass of worms and rags or whatever. He's got but he's part of your thing. He's also the first party member who my rival Blorbo led goes, no, we need to kill that guy immediately. But his whole thing is that, he's all helpful about the Mikola quest once when things kick off, because like he really wants to kill the dude who's like the box art guy for Erdtree, right? Whose name escapes me because I'm bad with those. The fucking tall boy with the red hair, you know the one. Anyway, really wants to kill that guy because he did a whole bunch of war crimes in Donut Hole Land. The brainwashing breaks. He still does he still does help you kill that guy because he does just genuinely no, I want revenge more than I want helping Mikola. Who gives a fuck about Mikola? I want to kill the red hair guy. And then he's like, dude, I owe you forever. I'll help you do whatever. You helped me kill the source of all my misery. We're so besties. And then he basically in the span of the game immediately goes insane and tries to kill you.
Great.
So average Dark Souls PC.
Yeah.
I told you about the setup with the boss fight thing where it's like, oh, you solved their quests correctly or incorrectly. They can either show up to help you in that fight or show up to try and hurt you. There is no scenario where he makes it to that fight. Because either you kill him for Leda and he's dead, or you don't kill him for Leda and he goes insane and tries to kill you before you get there.
Excellent.
Okay.
So I'll take him off, but I needed him to be recognized.
Understandable. I do know we need to cut Kay Faraday because we haven't even finished that game.
Yeah.
I don't understand the soul of that character yet. Right now, I think she's fine. I'm sure I will like her more later. Currently, I'm just like, I miss Maya.
I would personally say she doesn't. She's not she's not bad, but she is she does not rate especially high amongst the Ace Attorney Blorbos. Or Ace Attorney Scrunglies. Sure. Ace Attorney is a series with a lot of Scrunglies, and the competition is stiff.
Yes, it's true.
There's a high degree of Scrungly in that whole series, and right now, I think she's just fine. She's not great. She's just
she has a lot of cute moments, like we noticed of her imitating Edgeworth.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, we have not seen enough of her. She's not in that game as much as I thought she was going to be.
She's not in that game. I mean, I know she'll be in the second one more, obviously, because there is a second one. But currently, not in the game enough. Has the bad luck. I know her game came first. Has the bad luck of following Athena. Those two feel kind of like the same character right now. And I like Athena more.
She shows up. She is in the last two cases of that game a lot more than the ones that we've seen so far. Because again, you have to remember, the first case, she's not in it because it wasn't originally part of the plan, and they just added it because they had time, right?
Right.
But she's definitely more important going forward.
Okay.
Acceptable. So yeah, that's cuts 2. We still have a lot to cut.
We do have a lot.
We still have 6, and we need to cut it to 3.
It's getting hard.
Let me tell you real quick about Idol.
Okay.
Speaking of Kay Faraday, Idol is what if there were 4 Kay Faradays?
Okay.
And they were a group of Power Ranger wannabes.
Oh. Oh.
They are a group of 4 kids that you recruit in one of the islands in Brothership. Their names are, the pink one is Irene, the green one is Dulles, the blue one is Lug, and the yellow one is Ello.
Okay, that makes sense.
Irene is the leader, and they are a bunch of just hot-headed ninja thief wannabe kids that get recruited onto the ship and are super eager to help out in any way they can whatsoever. And Princess Peach basically adopts them.
I see.
They are super adorable. Irene and Luke fight over who's the actual leader of the group. Ello is the quiet, stoic kind who is a man of few words, and Dulles is the tall, lanky, nerdy one. They look like the kind of archetypes they would be.
Sure.
But they are an absolute delight. And they're just very fun characters and like a highlight of Brothership so far.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The problem is that, I mean, they're cute. My problem is that who they're up against.
Yeah. If they get cut, I'm not going to shed too many tears.
Okay.
We
might have to cut them. They're cute, but unfortunately the other choices, Red 13, Izitsumi, Galulja, Adam, and BB. So, you know.
I have like a bullet loaded to argue for BB, so I'd like to save her.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we have to cut Idol.
I think we can cut Idol,
because the other choices are so potent.
Yeah.
look at how many of them they have to gather just to compete with one of us.
There's 4 of them, and the others are 1, so it doesn't count. It's Scrungly, not Scrunglies.
Yeah. But you cannot separate them, so...
I understand.
Between the 4 of them, you've got Ska, Ra, Nga, and Lee.
So yeah, I'm okay with cutting them. That's fine.
Okay, cool. We still have to cut 2. Help! What do we do? Help!
I'm gonna say I think we might have to cut Adam on the basis that he's a person. Like, he's a human being. Well, he's a robot, but he's
a robot.
He's a robot.
Whereas all the other ones, like, are effectively creatures of some regard. I don't think it's a requirement to be a creature to be a Scrungly, but I think it helps.
I guess here is my bizarre counterpoint. Let me see if I can find the right image of it.
BB is also a person.
BB is arguably more of a she's arguably more of a person because she's a human.
That's right.
She's just like from the cartoon universe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like BB's a person, but she looks like that.
I would say, if anything, we cut Galulja because he's too depressing.
I was literally about to say, Galulja, he's my sweet little baby boy, and I love him to pieces. But the thing is, Scrunglies have a certain, like, mischievous kind of quality to them. They're scrungly, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you say something is scrungly, you know, they kind of have a certain quality to them, right? And I don't think Galulja has that. Honestly, he probably could have been like a Blorbo or a Scrimblo, more so than a Scrungly.
I think if Galulja were more like baby Bowser Jr. in personality rather than archetype, I think he would definitely be more Scrungly like. But
yeah,
you're right. He is Bowser Jr., but he doesn't have the personality of Bowser Jr.
Right.
Yeah. I guess, like, the thing is that, like, yeah, I know that Pluto's art style makes Adam look less Scrungly, but I cannot not think of this anytime I see him.
Yeah, he is Astro Boy, but I think...
Like, I understand that this is a sweet, adorable little boy in a little yellow slicker coat, and he's adorable looking, but I look at him when he takes off his hair, and I immediately see the image above him, just like goofy little cartoon.
He's still Astro Boy, so that's still definitively a Scrungly.
Like, I can't unsee, that's a goofy little cartoon boy.
He does have the hair spikes as Adam.
That are really goofy looking.
They are,
no matter what angle you look at him.
They are there, but
and I do have to stress because it is important context. It's not like this renamed him Adam. Adam has always been his name. Astro Boy is a Western invention.
Yeah, it's Rock and Mega Man. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
but
literally.
Yeah. No, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, you're right. That's again, Mega Man is Astro Boy.
So we should cut Galulja just to make note of that.
Yes. Goodbye, little depressing orphan child.
The world's saddest little orphan.
I think, and I hate to be this person. Knowing what happens later, I think Izitsumi should be removed from Scrungly until we get to more of Izitsumi.
I'd be okay with that because she will appear again.
Yes.
We know for a fact we're getting more Dungeon Meshi, and I promise you, if none of you put her on there, I will.
we got all of, like, maybe 30 seconds out of her in Core 1, and then, like, we did get a lot of her in Core 2, but not enough for people to get the real vibe.
Sure.
Okay.
Which brings us to our top 3, Red 13, BB, and Adam.
That's a hell of a decision.
Okay, I do know, I feel bad, but I do know who I'm going to vote for.
Uh-huh.
I'm very sorry to BB and Adam, but baby voice Red 13 is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. When that voice came out, just like with Secretary, I gasped.
Oh yeah.
I thought,
like, whole body. Yes.
we were chatting and we were having fun. I thought I misheard it at first. I was like, what was, oh my God, he's faking.
Because they do that whole gag in, was it Junon? It was Junon, the Junon.
Yeah.
Where Aerith is talking to somebody and it's like a baby voice and you're like, who the hell is that? And you don't realize it's Red 13. She's been talking to baby voice Red 13, which is just stunning.
And then when it comes out at Cosmo Canyon, you're like, did something happen to the game's audio?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's really good. Fuck, I don't know who to vote for. I'm
going to deploy my argument for why I am voting for BB.
Please
Hooray.
deploy the BB argument, please.
In one of the episodes, I think it's episode 5, but I don't remember the episode numbers especially clearly. There's a story about how BB basically, while being an undercover shopper, goes to a hotel where, of course, it's the hotel where you get murdered at, right?
Of course.
The entire time while she's at the hotel you get murdered at, she's constantly being surveyed by the hotel, like, for her preferences on this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
And part of the realization that you get to is that they're trying to survey to come up with the perfect boy, like, romance to, like, your perfect love interest guy from, like, a romance thing to kill you. Right? That's the whole thing. They're trying to find your perfect romantic murderer. She doesn't really attach to any of them particularly. The antagonist in this case asks her, like, well, do we have another thing where we would have just paired you with girls? And she's like, I don't think that would have helped much. And she does a lot of needling trying to figure out how to get BB to reveal who it is she wants to be killed by.
Right.
And eventually she's able to get her to give up this dialogue where BB over the phone says, Cha-Cha the tree frog. What? It's the name of the frog-themed animal mascot for the Rainforest Cafe. That's kind of a deep cut. Do you maybe want the frog from the Warner Brothers cartoons instead? I don't want anything. I just think it's interesting. It's an interesting design. Don't look at me. Fuck you. Show me your desires if you think they're so great.
Oh, fuck.
That is good.
Saturn just, like, literally deployed a tactical nuke to this conversation. Fuck.
And then I need to stress, the payoff to this punchline is at the end of the episode where she makes it safely back home, as she does, and she decides to play a game on her phone, and it's a You Won't Survive 5 Minutes, My Lord game, and there's a tree frog on it. She's the most normal girl to ever live.
Fuck. Oh, that's so good. Oh.
It cannot sway my decision. I just look at Adam and I go, that is a Scrungly.
That's your little Scrungly.
That means that Sara is the tiebreaker.
Again, I will blow up and nuke this entire Discord group over him.
Oh no, because I love all three of them.
I feel just as strongly about baby voice Red 13.
Oh good, but then I can finally PvP together.
Baby voice Red 13. Every time he spoke, my smile grew. Especially, and it grew even more when he narrated the pirate legend and switched back to deep man voice.
Yeah. He's so cute, though. That is the problem.
This is too much pressure. I am gonna
for more BB propaganda I can deploy.
Saturn's just trying to find more propaganda as fast as possible while I hem and haw and try to decide like whom amongst these three deserves it the most. And I don't know. I think
this is what you do if you don't vote for him.
I also feel the need to remind you all of the moment that you did see, which is BB finding out that the water ghost that was haunting her was actually unchlorinated swimming pool water, and she proceeded to beat the water ghost to death for risking giving her a disease.
Yeah, fuck, okay. I have to give it to BB. I'm sorry. I love her. Yes! I'm sorry. Forgive me, Red 13, and your baby voice.
I'm coming into the other room to kill you, Sarah.
This is the first time that losing has made me a little upset. Normally, this is where I know that this is where I finally know that bribing Sarah with the comma statue really paid off. Normally, I'm like, oh, whatever, you know, we're just having fun here. This time, I'm like, no, it should have been Red 13.
You fuckers don't know anything. I'm sorry. I just think she's funny. She speaks to my soul. I think there's a quality of BB that I see in myself. I'm just like, no, I understand completely. I think I might actually be my own Scrungly. So, you know.
Yeah. Would that we all could.
Would that we could all find it within ourselves, right? So, there's no way we're getting to the rest of this list tonight.
No, not at all.
No, but we do still have to decide who's getting silver.
Oh, fuck.
Well, my vote's going to Red 13.
I also vote for Red 13. I'm sorry, Oates. Please don't come. I know we live under the same roof, which means she could, in fact, come into my room and kill me.
No. It's okay, Oates. Oates. No, I'm going to make this decision really hard because I'm also voting for Adam. Fuck.
Wait, Saturn voted for Adam. Get back in there. Put your headphones back on. Saturn, she came in here and abused me.
I know. It's okay, Sarah. I'll kill her for you, or you can kill her. I don't. Whatever floats your boat.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. Oh my god.
This podcast sucks.
Sorry, folks.
Let me ask you this then. I have not watched Pluto. You watched it while I was in Japan, so I didn't get to see it.
Okay.
What has Adam done that makes him Scrungly?
What hasn't he done?
What silly things has he done? Has he done anything as silly as Red 13 putting on a human Shinra soldier costume and walking on his hind legs and playing Queen's Blood?
And playing Queen's Blood and trying to sit like a little man.
No.
Has he ever done anything as funny as riding a chocobo?
He has given everything he can to learn what makes humans different from robots, including learning how to hate other people, and he still wants to give everyone a hug.
That's not Scrungly.
That's not Scrungly behavior. That's the reason we disqualified Ghouljaw.
He's too depressed.
Well, the difference is that Pluto, Adam does not make me depressed. Ghouljaw is just like a sad orphan child.
Yeah.
Adam's just a little boy who I want to give like a cup of hot cocoa. Is that so wrong?
Ghouljaw has Tiny Tim energy. where Adam makes me just go like, how do I put it? It's like when you see Peanut's little like lower lip wibble because he's trying to beg for scraps. You know he's playing.
You can't deploy comparing the anime boy to my beloved dog to win. It's not gonna work.
No, because is Adam ever a little scamp? Is he ever a little goofball troublemaker?
No, he's
not. I do think of a lot of his scampness gets offset on his little sister. Yeah,
this is unfortunately true.
I think we might be losing this fight, Oates.
Yeah.
I think we do have to give Red 13 Baby Voice Edition silver.
Hold on, I'm gonna find a real quick a picture of Red 13 riding a chocobo. And you tell me, you look me in the eye, and you tell me if Adam has done anything as scrungly as this.
I wish I could say. Here's the thing. I'm realizing I can't.
Look at it.
Because he doesn't do it in Pluto.
Well,
he does it in the other Mighty Atom.
Well,
so it doesn't count. So you are right. I do have to cede.
There we go.
There.
Look at this little boy.
Look at this little creature.
He's sitting like a people.
He sits like a people.
He thinks he's people.
He thinks he's people. He tries to walk like a man. He wants to play Queen's Blood with you. Come on.
However, I will say, Ben, you should in fact watch Pluto.
I will watch it eventually.
It's extremely fucking good. Yeah.
There is a really cute part where Adam reveals he's just like, oh, I can't really eat a hamburger. I just like doing it because it looks fun.
He is a sweet little boy. However, he is not mischievous enough to win Scrungly of the Year.
No, unfortunately, this Pluto era Adam is an Adam who has learned a little bit too much maturity. He is a young boy who is learning to become a man.
That's right.
He's having his Chimera Ant moment.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's Scrungly in my eye.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be part
That's
1.
Going to be part 1.
We still have half this fucking list
we have
of categories to go
1, 2,
through.
3,
God.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more categories to do.
Christ. Okay.
Good.
I hope God kills me with a big rock.
I love that the only one of these that went smoothly was Scrimblo of the Year.
That's right.
Scrimblo. We nailed. We got that one in and out.
Yeah, and it turns out the secret is ignoring the format that we decided to do this year. Crazy.
Because otherwise it would have taken too long. We would have been here even longer.
And the only reason we ignored it is because it was a clean sweep. Like it was
such a clean sweep.
It was too easy. Like this was the only time it was too easy.
That's right. Like everything else was hard. This is just like you look at Secretary and his little baby voice and he sweeps. Secretary sweep.
Yeah.
Scumbag was an easy sweep too, unfortunately.
It was easy, but it was hard. It was harder getting second and third place.
Yeah.
I think the format's working well though. There is literally no other world besides this format where I think it was possible that BB could have gotten Golden Scrungly.
I agree. I think actually being able to discuss it and not just vote with our hearts, like
that's right. We have to talk it out.
Yeah, we
have to convince each other of our derangements.
There have been some surprising picks. I'm glad that Like a Dragon has taken so many nominations, despite it being me being the only one who played it.
We gave Yutaka Yamai best rival, even though you're the only one who knows who that fucking guy is.
The thing is, Ben is extremely good at pitching these characters to us, right? He's just like, listen, I got an elevator pitch for you. Sit tight. And we're all just like, yeah, I'm following along. Yeah.
Listen, he likes older women.
It was that easy. Turns out it's that easy just to make me go, it's a sweep. What a character. Character of the year. Fantastic. Let's go. Okay.
Okay, well, we are going to be back next week to wrap up the Gorgies. I'm super excited.
Yes.
Some of our funnest categories are waiting for you. Mm-hmm.
You're not going to believe what we have in store for you next, folks.
Well, here's the thing. Here, I'll give you a teaser. There is only one of these categories in which Final Fantasy XIV shows up again, and you're going to be shocked that it's a category.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us. We'll see y'all next week. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.